This is in the kitchen of this backpacker's. A guy just left. He was riding the bicycle, traveling around. Wonderful. He said he's 53 years old, and he came 150 kilometers the second night. Unbelievable. What I felt is this: do whatever we really like and know that. And I noticed he's got this lively energy, and you can see in the person who is just beaming, especially when you're doing the right thing or the things that you really like. And I think I lived my life like that. And the interesting thing that I was feeling is that in Japan, people are very harmonious, but at the same time, you need to be delicate. I don't know how to explain it, but because they're very sensitive peoples, and they want to maintain the harmony. So you have to fit in there. In America, it's less so. Maybe in New Zealand, it's halfway between. Depends on the location and everything is different. What I'm saying is that no matter where you are, find what you really like to do, connecting to your root, and be excited in whatever you do. It doesn't matter, big or small, right or left. Anything we do, but those who have the connection to what they really like to do, and what they really like to do is what the heart wants to do. So it's not me doing it or him doing it, but him being the agent of the life of the universe. Because what you really like to do is what the universe wants you to do. That's why you feel like doing what you like to do. So you like what you like to do. So that's the double you. You like what the other you, meaning the way of the universe, way of the nature. So you have the connection, and you can go beyond lots of difficulties because you have this passion. Yes, I felt in him. We didn't have time to talk much, but I wish we did. But I could feel it. And he's 53, but looks like 37 or 42. And he's riding the bike. He says it's dangerous, but he still does that. That part I don't understand, but of course, if he likes it, he'll do it. He said 6 years he's been doing it. And sometimes the car passes nearby and, and he says it's dangerous, but he's still happy to do it. I hope he does well. And of course, he has this flickering thing, and he must be careful because it's dangerous, but he still does it. But I felt in him like a young guy. That keeps him young because you're doing what you really like to do, like kids like what they like to do. And when I mentioned about this harmony in Japan, that is the part that I'm not quite sure about. I like the harmony and sensitivity of connection, but there's something also that each of us need to pay attention to, considering how other people are doing and not to interfere. So there's a high density of people, and they learn how to navigate as a group. So it's harmony in there. But I'm a little bit off. Like I left Japan and then come back every now and then. And they think of me like a little odd foreigner because of my curiosity, and maybe just like this guy, I want to find things. And then sometimes that hit to a little difficulty because there's a protocol of doing things in a small town like this. So I'm adjusting, readjusting, and the way to adjust is not adjust. Adjust means I am there. I am to adjust, but I shouldn't be there, meaning no self. And just know within myself what I really like to do. It's not mean selfish, but just connected to the real impetus, the needs and the expression of the universe, the nature's way. Because that's when I feel totally at peace. When I was young, I worked in a company and I could fit well because I learned how to fit well and stay in my own universe, but being able to process things. But I felt that's a little bit too much, and I just wanted to go out, experience life outside of Japan. In his case, the bicycle rider, he has some stress at work, but this is the way to go out. In my case, I wanted to go out much farther. So when I come back, I have to reprogram myself. That's the process. When I move from one country to the next to kind of fit in there, without losing who I am. And the key is no rush. Yes, time dimension has to go away. Just be breathing and connecting. Because that's how you connect it to your heart or to your root and what you really like to do. And what you really like to do will be different from other persons they like to do. So each lives in that, but not violating others' action. Respect them. Yeah, that's the way to look at the Japanese being like who they are. Harmonious. Yes, harmonious without your ego being there. That's the real harmony. Which means each person throw away the ego, meaning everything may take time. And that's appropriate rather than rushing. Rushing would create the conflict, friction. So they learn it. And I thought I didn't like that. But in a way, that's reality. Because like whatever happens in different countries, all that craziness, is mostly based upon the ego pushing. So Japanese may have learned the way among themselves and also within the world. they may have peculiar position. Of course, it's not perfect. There are lots of trouble in Japan. But they are learning. It's a continuous process. There's a pressure, there's difficulties, and I can feel that. So when I come back from outside of Japan to be in Japan, I'm delicate, so I have to reprogram. But the reprogram is not the right way. It's, of course, there's a protocol of communication and there's steps and how, and I'm learning it, relearning it. And the key part of the relearning is don't push, no ego, and take time, take lots of time. Yes, this may be the 6th day or so I'm back in Japan. and I don't know if I say reprogramming, it's not, it's the natural programming that has to be the core. Instead of the programming of the mind, then it gets into this difficult, hitting and figuring out. And it consumes lots of energy. That's a stress. And you don't do, I shouldn't do that. So the key essence again is samadhi and no mind. No mind is no comparison, just be. No division, just be. And breathing in and out, appreciating. And you have to appreciate any place you will be, you are. And many times there's trouble in the world, and it's nature's way, especially when you push your brain. But we all need to see that that's just the way we learn and still find the utopia, so to speak, or nirvana. Not necessarily in the mountain and meditating at peace. And maybe that's the inclination of, again, middle way, where you fit. But ultimately, any situation we get into, we can resolve, given that conflict and paradox and difficulty. Just like within myself, the brain and the heart, there's a gap and the paradox, and that is the process of resolution with the awakening and all of that I have been talking about. But the last 6 days or so, 5-6 days or so, I'm just reorienting, not just here, but also sideways with people, balancing, middle way, still connected and not get the ego or self-identity and the thinking to process it. And again, take time. If you rush, that means you are there to rush. And that is the mind functioning. You have to let the flow of the expression come from within. One more thing. Just for this occasion, I was watching this Ueshiba, who is the originator of Aikido. Aikido is no offense. It's more love, and acceptance. It's not fighting. And go in with the flow like a seaweed is the expression, I think. We do the exercise, and the way is to use opponent's power and guide it in such a manner. And when I learned that, this is years ago, even if when you fall, you feel great, because it's not punching you or forcing you, but your own energy is not going anywhere. So it's falling is natural way, not against and falling, against with the power and falling, and that requires so much energy. But if the falling is someone's guiding you, and then you are flowing even when you fall. It may be a good thing that was developed and practiced in Japan, where Shiba is his name. I was watching his video, remembering it. I have some Aikido YouTube too, if you have a chance to find it. Instead of the conflict, but the love and connecting to the heart. Wow. It's not easy to understand because it's beyond the mind. And that's all right. Because we're not live only in our mind. The love comes from the heart, the compassion. And with that, anything can be worked out. Well, I think I had the big corn, and I think I'm finding out the solution, which is going back to the basics. And I'm glad that this encounter with this biker and little conversation and his liveliness perked up, connected my feeling from the heart, and figuring out whatever the situation we face, there's a way. There's no way out in the brain, but there's way out if you connect to the root, nature's way. Compassion and love and wisdom. Let's work on it. It's not understanding. It's the process in silence, in mind, and connecting to the heart. Thank you.